What's going on, guys? I just wanted to apologize for not making those videos recently. I've had a couple people visit the last couple weeks, and so it's been really hard for me to find time to do it. But I do still have a couple videos lined up that I'm ready to upload. But I really wanted to make this video today. Just a quick update. I've been here for about 4 months now. So the last update video, I think I did a 3-month update. So I think in the last month or so, just to let you guys know, I think I've passed kind of this stage where, work isn't as super exciting as it was when I first got here. I think now that I've been here for a certain amount of time, now it's just kind of routine, and I know how things go and stuff like that. So not to say that I hate my job or anything like that. I love barbecue. I still love cooking and stuff like that. But that big excitement of being in Austin and working in a barbecue restaurant, that has kind of died down a little bit. But we're still here though. I still love it. Secondly, for those of you guys who have been asking me, I have found a church that I've been going to the last couple weeks. I've been going around a whole bunch of different churches the last couple months, and I just felt like I found a place where I felt comfortable. The people are really nice. The pastors are really cool. So, for those of you guys who are still wondering, I still do go to church. So as I've talked about before, I've grown up in Chicago my entire life, or at least in the Chicagoland area. All the way from middle school to high school, going to college at UIC, moving back to the suburbs to teach. I've been here forever, and I just wanted to, I just felt like I was kind of stuck in this one area, and I knew a lot about this kind of one place and this one group of people, but I just didn't feel like I had a really good perspective of how other people lived, or other people's backgrounds, or how they were brought up and stuff like that. I just wanted to straighten something real quick, because a lot of people have been saying certain things that I did not quit my job as a teacher because I hated teaching. I think that's what most people think of when people are making a career change, but if you guys know me, ever since high school, I've always wanted to be a teacher. And I said at some point that I wanted to coach football, and then again later down the road when I was kind of done with teaching, that I would do something with barbecue. And so again, I did not leave my job because I hated it. I actually really, really loved my job. The fact that I was able to teach in the school that I was at, and I was able to coach football right away, and during the summers I was able to have a pop-up restaurant in my parents' backyard. I was literally everything that I wanted to do at that since I was in high school, I was able to do in the last 3 years. And I realized that I almost kind of checked all my boxes of different things that I wanted to do, and I just felt like I just wanted something different. So after my third year of teaching, I really started to think about what are some other things that I really want to do, it's really, really hard to think about these things because I was thinking in terms of career change, but at the same time, I felt like I was finding my place within the school that I was working at. In terms of coaching, I felt like I was finally finding my groove, and I was really learning how to teach things really, better than I was, when I first started. And so, it was hard because everything that I was doing, I felt like I was continuously getting better at, but at that point in time, and especially with the positions that I held, I felt like I kind of maxed out as much as I could do in those positions. And so, I was really trying to think, man, do I want to spend another year doing the same thing and not really growing that much, or do I want to try something different and kind of really stretch myself? That's when that during that summer after my third year is when I really, really started to think about making this sort of change. And just like thinking about working at a barbecue restaurant in Texas was just kind of unbelievable to me. And to think like and thinking how would I even be able to get an opportunity to do something like that? And so with all those kind of things considered, I was having I just decided, what, it felt like it was the right thing to do. I was really scared, and when I was talking to my parents about it, and I was talking to my friends and my sister about it, I was really excited. As I was kind of sharing why I wanted to do this, but also really nervous because I felt like now that I was telling a lot of people of different things that I wanted to do, I felt like I had to do it. So I moved. I moved in like mid-January, and during that time there was like a big winter storm that was kind of going through, from like Chicago and kind of going south. So, during that time I was like ordering a whole bunch of stuff and furniture and like my bed, most importantly, and said it was supposed to arrive the day before I got there, but because of the weather, I didn't get my bed there the first day, and so that first night I ended up sleeping on the floor. And to me, it was just kind of ironic, and it was kind of funny to think like, okay, I wanted a challenge, and then the first night that I'm here, I'm sleeping on the floor. So I thought it was kind of funny, but also it's kind of like, okay, here we go. And just to kind of give you guys an idea of the change and the shift that's happened. I explained earlier before that I started on during those for the first 6 weeks I did overnight shifts, and so my shifts were from 11 o'clock at night to 9 in the morning, and I was working Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday nights, and so it was just really weird going from Monday to Friday job and then just flipping it and doing the opposite, and also working at night. So even with that, I was just a little bit caught off guard, and I told them, I was like, yeah, like you guys can put me wherever you guys want, and I'd be willing to do it, but I just wasn't. I don't think I was prepared for that drastic change. But at the same time, I think it was necessary. But during that first month and a half, like I said, I had a really, really hard time, especially in those first 3 weeks that I was there. Every night that I was working, I had at some point around like 2 or 3 in the morning, I just had this really difficult moments where I would tell myself almost every night for 3 weeks that I would just say to myself, I made a big mistake coming here. And it was really difficult to have that thought, and being there with no other alternative. I couldn't go back home. I couldn't decide that I'm gonna quit and then and go back to my old life, because as soon as I told myself that, man, like I had made a huge mistake coming here, the 3 things that I had to remind myself was, 1, you had quit your job, and you're going to be unemployed if you quit. 2 is that I'm thousands of miles away from home, so for me to just drop this and to go back home is not an option. And 3 is I signed a 12-month lease to be here. And so, with those 3 things and kind of being in the back of my mind as I was kind of going through this difficult time, I just told myself, what, like, you asked for a challenge and this is what it is. This is just a situation, but you're going to have to figure out, just make it work. And so, I had that constant conversation with myself night after night after night. And at the end of it, it was just kind of like, you're gonna have to make it work. But during those times, for sure, it wasn't just I wasn't just kind of doing this on my own. I definitely had support from other people, but at the same time, the thing that really helped me a lot was I was listening to a lot of Christian music, and I was listening to a lot of online sermons during that time to kind of remind myself why I was there. And just to kind of reiterate, for me to make this big change, it was something that I wanted to do. But at the same time, if I didn't feel comfortable doing this in terms of, I didn't feel like God wanted me to do this, then I probably wouldn't have done it. And I probably wouldn't have felt as comfortable with my decision if I didn't feel like God wanted me to do it either. So I knew that for me being here, there was some sort of purpose. Maybe it wasn't barbecue, but it was for me to learn something. But regardless of what that thing was, I just said, God, I'm here, so whatever I'm here and whatever I'm supposed to do here, just let me know what it is, so I can figure it out. But luckily this barbecue thing worked itself out, and I'm starting to enjoy it a lot now. But it's definitely been a challenge, and I'm really grateful for everything that has happened in the last 4 months of struggling a lot with what I was doing back at home, struggling here, and now finally feeling like everything that has happened in the last 6-ish months or so kind of paid off. I really am trying my best, as I'm only 25 right now, to stretch myself as much as possible to be exposed to as many things as possible, because I think for me that it just allows me to have a bigger perspective of my surroundings, and allows me to be more empathetic with different things and other people. So guys, I just wanted to share that with you guys, and hopefully this is something that you guys enjoyed hearing, especially since this is like just my own personal blog. But I want to continue to share different things that I've learned, or things that things about my past that really have shaped me up to being who I am now. Anyway, guys, that's just what I wanted to share during this video. And again, I know I say this during mostly every single video, but I want to thank you guys so much for your guys' support. Me being home away for 4 months, this is the longest I've been away from home, and so to still have support from my friends back home, my church, my family, my old coworkers and stuff like that, it's just been huge to me. I really do feel like Chicago's still home. I love being here, but it's definitely not the same thing. Again, continuously thank you guys for supporting me through this huge journey and this change that I've been going through. I hope that I can continue to give you guys that something of value as I share kind of my story and stuff like that. But you guys, thank you so much for everything, and until the next video, I'll see you guys later. So this is a sleeping situation for the first night, but it's alright.